So from a smart cities perspective, some of the key countries to watch out for: Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, and Mauritius. They've either started their smart city strategy or have a plan between now and 2030 to have this infrastructure in place. Across Africa, many of the countries have incumbent players that are specializing in LTE and LTE Advanced. One of the key things to consider when moving into Africa is how you partner. In many cases, you'll struggle to acquire new licenses and new spectrum, and in many cases, you have to strike new partnerships to allow you to enter those countries. Some of my suggestions include thinking about who the majority players are, specifically around who will give you the last mile access. Over and above having the fiber access, which gives you the basic long-haul connectivity, those that have the 4G and Wi-Fi access into real estate, corporate infrastructure will allow you to launch your business, getting to the citizen and the consumers in those countries. Some of the examples of companies leveraging the internet for quality businesses include Conga.com, which is actually an e-commerce site, as well as Peg, which is a solar company that's using both solar infrastructure combined with the internet infrastructure to provide an as-a-service model to their consumers. And there are many such companies that are doing that. And what's most interesting is that most of these companies are new age companies using digital assets to create new kind of services. Not just solar, but the likes of ebooks, e-commerce, and services that you wouldn't have typically gotten in those countries. So an example of Iroko TV is actually the equivalent of the Nollywood going online in Nigeria. So very similar to what Netflix does or what Showmax does in South Africa, Iroko TV is taking the Nollywood equivalent and starting to allow an as-a-service model, which is using the quality internet infrastructure to get those to the consumers. It's an as-a-service business which is starting to scale in Nigeria. When you look at African countries to consider is both their strategies for the fiber infrastructure and their basic underlying connectivity, but I also would look at their strategies around the last mile, specifically 3G, 4G, WiMAX to allow you to build your services. And it's important to consider where those strategies are in place. One of my basic premises is around any country that's starting to consider smart cities implies that government is looking to build services on last mile infrastructure. And I would start to look at the likes of Ghana, Kenya, South Africa as places that will actually have last mile coming into place in a strong way over the next 5 years.